Good evening, everybody. Glad you could make it to this unique environment. I'm Glenn Brimacombe. I'm President and CEO of the Association of Canadian Academic Healthcare Organizations, and I'd like to welcome you to this Café Scientifique that is co-hosted by ourselves and the Canadian Institutes of Health Research. The title of the session is In Sickness and in Health and focuses on the role of patients in health research at 4 local academic healthcare organizations. And they are the Ottawa Hospital Research Institute, the Elizabeth Bruyere Research Institute, the Children's Hospital of Eastern Ontario's Health Research Institute, and the University of Ottawa Institute of Mental Health Research at the Royal Ottawa Healthcare Group. Academic healthcare organizations like the 4 here in our city are a unique group of organizations across the country that, in addition to patient care, also provide the training for future health professionals and conduct important research that can help save lives, improve health outcomes, and save money, and create innovative products and services that are brought to the marketplace, also known as commercialization. They are engines of health innovation in the system and are distinct in terms of their 3-part mission of patient care, education, and research and innovation. Across Canada, they include research and teaching hospitals, non-acute care or non-hospital organizations like Bruyere, academic, provincial, and regional health authorities and their respective research institutes. As their national voice, ACAO represents 42 of these organizations across the country. And since 1996, they have accounted for close to over 100 world-first discoveries and major breakthroughs, and over 70 established spin-off companies. Based on the latest information available, close to $2 billion annually is invested in health research in ACAO members. And as of 2007-08, over 1,600 clinical trials have taken place annually at a value of over $330 million. For each public dollar invested in health research in this country, roughly 80 cents is invested in the research hospitals across the country. Ottawa has 4 of these organizations, and we're delighted to partner with them and the Canadian Institutes of Health Research. Now, we're also very delighted to introduce to you the moderator of this evening's event, someone who probably needs no introduction, and that's Rita Celli of CBC Radio. Rita is the host of Ontario Today, a call-in show heard weekdays across Ontario on CBC Radio 1. Rita began her career on air with CBC Radio in her native Sudbury, before moving to CBC Ottawa in 1994. A veteran journalist and graduate of Carleton University, Rita has covered every aspect of news in her career with CBC and has earned a number of distinctions in both radio and television, and I'll list a couple of them for you. Investigative Editorial Writing and Leadership Awards. In 2009, her CBC radio show Ontario Today won a silver medal at the International New York Festival for breaking news the day Zoom Airlines collapsed. And in 2010, a Gracie for Outstanding Talk Show from American Women in Radio and Television. She's also known for her journalistic integrity and personal warmth. Rita has also taken a shine to live theater. You didn't think I was going to say this, did you? She played the role of Chorus in Third Wall's 2009 production of Henry V, and her portrayal of Nora in Wrong for Each Other won the following review. Brilliantly funny. So we expect some humor tonight. Good enough for a stage at the National Arts Centre. Very impressive. Finally, Rita is no stranger to the health research community, often helping to promote and support not only research and the researchers, but equally important, if not more important, the health outcomes that result from good health research. Please join me in welcoming Rita Celli.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for that. Yes, the live theater thing did make me laugh, but it's been kind of a fun way to expand performance in a different way, other than a journalistic realm. I really am pleased to be here with you all tonight, and what a great turnout on this wonderful kind of spring-like evening and a great space, I have to say. We've got a nice view as well for our discussion tonight. I have 4 really important organizations represented here, and they all represent different perspectives perspectives when it comes to patient involvement in health research. And before I introduce the speakers, I just want to walk you through a little bit about how the next 75 minutes will actually proceed. So if you've been to one of the CIHR Café Scientifique before, you have an idea already. This is a discussion. So while we're going to hear a number of perspectives, it's really fair to say that there's no one right answer, one single right answer. You'll also know that after each of the experts gives some of their descriptions, their insider's view, we're going to open up the phones. That's a slip, eh? We'll open the floor, metaphorically, of course, to questions. And we'd certainly encourage all of you to ask questions. You're going to notice that the session is being recorded over here. You have our two gentlemen friends on the side for video podcasting. And we are hoping that this discussion will help patients and other members of the community as well, even abroad, people who might be able to see this online. If you feel a bit camera shy or room shy, you can always write down a question, and I'll be more than happy to ask that on your behalf. And when we move into the question and answer portion, Beatrice, where's Beatrice? There you are. She's going to be we're going to have a roving microphone to come to where you are. So I'd like to tell you just briefly about our speakers. Over on my right, we have Jennifer Molson, who is a research participant. So she obviously will be speaking from a strictly patient perspective of what it's like to be involved as a patient in health research from the Ottawa Hospital Health Research Institute. Next to her is Dr. Claire Liddy from the Elizabeth Bruyère Research Institute. She's a physician and a researcher. Dr. Elliot Lee is also researcher and psychiatrist at the University of Ottawa Institute of Mental Health and the Royal Ottawa Healthcare Group. And finally, Dr. Carole Gentile is chair of the Research Ethics Board at the Children's Hospital of Eastern Ontario. So we've asked all of these, all the four guests to cover their perspectives basically related to three questions when it comes to a research project that involves patients. What was the research about? How were the patients involved? What were they asked to do? How were they approached? That sort of thing. And what, from their perspective, were some of the outcomes, the risks, the benefits, issues, challenges, so some of the reflections on that point. And we also, as we have the chair of a research ethics board here at CHIO, will be getting a perspective of what a research ethics board actually goes through by using an example, I believe, of age of consent. So a scenario will be presented. So again, our speakers have about 5 to 7 minutes each. You should know that this red flag over here is your signal of 1 minute. So the drop dead time is 7 minutes. We're going to be brutal about it because you control the microphone, so we can actually cut you off. And after the presentations, we're going to hear one after the other, and then we'll do, just so you know, we need to rearrange just in a few minutes. We'll do a quick, I guess you could call it like a DIY, and before we take questions from the floor.